Okay, OBS reconnected.
Yeah, it's unclear if it maintained.
It seems like the internet went. Try. Yeah, let's see. I think it's back. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's related to all the storms we've had, because a lot of trees have been coming down. I don't know if this stream went down. Sorry if it did.
It did for a second, but we're back. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was actually OBS, not the Wi-Fi, because we're still getting moves here and everything.
Yeah, well,
Nothing paused even.
it could have, but we
Yeah.
didn't see it here. Whereas
I was looking. I was looking.
it's not a constant stream of information like on OBS.
Well, even this though, the stream here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it looks almost frozen up there.
No, I can see them moving.
Yeah, they're just.
But the chess players
thinking.
are frozen. They'll never move, physically or over the board.
Hay finally moved.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry about all these issues. There's nothing we can do about it.
Well, it's already done now.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You guys understand the best commentary and the best hair, right? And handsomest, also. Queen e2 still winning. Actually, the best move here. And now bishop f6. Every other move is minus 1,000. Because if you move your bishop away, like here, I can kick you and then try to trade. You could go back around here, but that seems kind of weird anyway. You just normally go here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only move to not be minus 7, apparently. You can't really trust this computer, though. This engine. Let's see another game for a minute. Although this one is pretty exciting. He did play bishop f6. But, we haven't looked at another game. Like, this one got f4, that's all. Yeah, so Fabi still has to make 4 moves, but he's got 8 minutes. That's pretty comfortable. A little uncomfortable, but pretty comfortable. Yeah, now he's getting it. Puts his pawns on dark squares, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rapport moved again. I saw on the webcam there. Oh, wait, that was bishop f6, I guess. Yeah, that was bishop f6. And then after c3, Firouzja's going to think forever, as expected, because it's move 42. So yeah, let's get back here. These guys are still going to make quick moves, because they're approaching time trouble. They're both suffering there in the cam. Even when you're totally winning, they're suffering. It's tough. It's a tough life. Oh, that's cool. Pokemon VGC. Anybody famous playing like Wolfie in that regional?
What's VGC? Video game
Championship, I think.
championship.
Yeah. That's true. Well, it's TCG. Come on. Well, we did have to restart the stream for a second, or OBS just did it for us.
Yeah, it's recalibrating, recounting the viewers.
Yeah, Aaron is like very knowledgeable and he's good at explaining and articulating his thoughts.
Your trading guard game came?
Because it was TGC, but it should be TCG, trading card game.
Oh, he just came up with a meaning
Yeah.
for the acronym.
Right. What Pokemon? Well, I do have Trevenant tattooed on my body, so probably that one. All right, so he played HG. He broke the tension finally. Engine hates it.
And Spencer Perrier.
All right, superior, right? Yeah. And then, so HG is the only reasonable move, and he'll play it. So I don't need to, show it. He'll just do it. Unless he plays FG. Oh, okay. Guess not. Yeah, the engine said this is the worst. He's not even winning anymore. That tension was necessary to win, I guess. Why would that be? To play h6 at some point? Like, let's say,
Yeah, it was a huge difference.
it likes queen e4 here, even, for example. So we could play like he did, It said queen d2 was the move, which Rapport might play in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But see, here's the deal. After this, now I've got h6 and a queen trade.
Right.
So now you got to pick your poison. Whereas in the game, if he plays this, which is an engine move, then after here, you just move your queen again. There's no h6 and there's no queen trade.
Right.
So queen e3 is not a good move. Also, apparently this, for the same reason, queen e3 would have enabled h6 or queen trade.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And you don't want either with black.
That makes sense.
Because the endgames are generally just going to be a technical loss with these pawns here. But now queen d2 or queen c5, probably even queen here is okay, because again, there's no queen e3, h6. Well, queen e3 attacks this, but we can defend it. Yeah. So yeah, he messed it up pretty hard. No, I think that, Rapport always had good drawing chances, even when he was losing. So now that he's not losing, he has a good chance to draw. Definitely.
I'm going to move it just a second.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just don't want you to be surprised.
He played queen e4. Right.
Okay.
He did. He traded and played queen e4, yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
He's like, don't move the board, Karen.
I was just looking at it. I'm not good at visualizing. I'm better, though, than I used to be.
That's true, Daster. Oh, he did play queen d2. Good move. Some fast flying action here.
Mm-hmm.
Ding throwing it away. Playing quick moves. Let's see, maybe we can check another game for a minute. Alareza still will never ever move. And they're still doing their thing. Duda's thinking, should I push? Should I go here? And this is mate almost, But, yeah, he could leave the tension or push, right?
That's what I was wondering.
Pushing, is a little annoying, though.
Yeah, the king gets in.
Yeah. Would have to go here to defend the knight. You can't move the knight. Unless you could do a trick, I guess. But your pawn's hanging. Yeah, but I could just get some pawn breaks in with white, So probably he could keep the tension. He could also, if he plays... Yeah, f4, I was actually going to say this, but we were looking at other stuff. Is that, if he plays f4 first, before black breaks, then he can make sure that he answers king e4 with d4. Whereas if his pawn were here, and you play f5, e4, you want to play f4 and king d4, because if you play king d4 first, your e pawn would be hanging, or your f pawn is hanging, e takes f. So he wants to get f4 first so he can play king d4 without losing his f3 pawn. Even though that could still potentially draw. But yeah, f4 first is smart preemptively. Then he'll get king d4 no matter what.
Right.
Assuming you break the tension. He could also take, I don't know though. Seems like king takes shouldn't be any problem. Except this, maybe. That could be a problem, honestly. So yeah, Duda's thinking about that kind of stuff. Can I react with a4 later and make this pawn weak? Maybe he'll have to take, right?
Right, because the bishop's not very well positioned to assist.
Right. You could play bishop e0 to defend on b3. Kind of passive to move your bishop off the board, though. Yeah. Bring Ben now. The chat demands Ben. I'm doing great. I can't speak for Karen, but things are going well for me.
Yeah, things are going pretty well, Francis Sutton. Ben's taking a nap or something.
Yeah, or something.
It's nothing to worry over.
No, okay. No, okay. So these guys will never move.
He'll return.
Ding will have to move because he has 6 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to make 8 moves. This is getting like a little tough. I wouldn't want to have 6 minutes to make 8 moves.
Right, that is a lot.
But the position is very simple because they traded all the stuff.
What move are they on in the Nakamura game? Because
42.
yeah, I saw
they
they
made
made
it.
time control. Yeah.
Right, I'm from the bench, right? The reserve Ben, pretty much. Yeah, they have to bang out the moves because they took too long in the middle game. But a Grunfeld middle game is very dynamic and temperamental, so you can't rush through it unless you want to make a lot of mistakes. Then you can, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Can Ding win this with queens off? Yes, Ding does have a winning idea with queens off. It might not be winning, but he can win it by targeting the b pawn and trapping the bishop. Kind of, we saw that idea earlier. But it could draw. Yeah, even that could draw. But anyways, if you have black, you always avoid a queen trade. Your king is never in danger. That's the safest king, so you don't care about getting mated. But an endgame can lose. An endgame can lose. Where, if white doesn't do anything to trade queens, he can't, or make a pass pawn, he can't win. You have to trade queens. You have to make a pass pawn, right? You're not going to win by an attack or the initiative here. So, yeah, it's likely draw now.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what
Hard to believe
would
it
do,
won't be, actually.
because if you attack the b pawn, it's pretty easy to defend it.
Right, yeah, with queens still on the board, it's easier to defend it. Because if you start moving your guys over to attack it, I can start attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw, I blundered that bishop d4 in the other position.
Oh, yeah, the fork.
Yeah, so I could even let you take it, queen takes, and then bishop d4 resigns.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got double attack. But yeah, none of that's true if queens are off the board, of course. Ding mostly blundered it with hg. He had to keep the tension here so that he could play h6. Like, imagine in this position the pawns were still here. Queen e3 was the engine suggestion. So that if you trade queens, Ding's happy. And if you don't trade queens, Ding pushes h6. And then your king is very weak, actually, on the back rank. So ambitious play there. Very ambitious. He doesn't have to do that, right? But actually he did. That was the only move to not lose. So Ding, this is a sneaky move. He's sort of fixed his king situation, so he's going to try to target now. But this is why the timing is appropriate to counterattack. You don't have time to attack my b pawn, and now this is super solid defense too.
Right, yeah.
He might even just do this. He might do that. It's a little risky to put it on a dark square, but rock solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he has to not lose his queen now. So bishop d4 exclam. In fact, the chess.com engine says exclam because it was the only move. It's right. Good defense here by Rapport. Good defense. You still have to be wary of a queen trade. The engine likes queen c3 the most, but it says queen b4 is also a move. I wouldn't be surprised if there were even other moves, like queen g5 maybe. But I like to defend the bishop. Seems right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was still a tough game. d5 or e5 is risky maybe. But okay, if you move your queen and rook away, I'll attack f2, so I'm never concerned about that. Yeah. No, it was a choke. He didn't have to do anything too special. HG threw it away. He also could have done other moves earlier. Like on move 27, queen e2 forced the queen trade almost. I don't know why that was so winning. But the engine liked that more. Because you could avoid the queen trade, yeah. So, he had like ways to be winning and not do anything too crazy. But it wasn't super obvious. Yeah, right, he missed the... Right, oh yeah, that was the biggest one, right. He could have played queen d8 and queen g5 in that line. Yeah, that was a dead win, right? And I don't know, Queen G5 is not too crazy, but it's a move you wouldn't really count on, unless you're calculating extremely accurately. Yeah.
Did Ben do any of the recaps yet?
No.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah. King G2, Rook H1. Yeah, but what are you going to do? If you ever move your queen away, I attack F2. So there's no way. Yeah, he moved his queen correctly. Let's see if anybody else moved. Nope. Yes. He did do all the stuff I said. He did A4. Okay, he didn't play EF first. He played A4 first. Whoa. Yeah, this was the chat suggestion that one time. I think it was maybe Bonarici or Manmoth. But the point here is that if takes, I check you, attacking your pawn if you move your king. Then so you'll go here or something, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll take check and win your F pawn. Because your king's overloaded. Yeah.
The king's overloaded.
So he did this first so that you can't take the pawn, And then here. But still, even though this is a pawn sacrifice now. After check, you can just go back. The engine says 0.00. So it was good judgment by Fabi, apparently, to do this. Give up the pawn. As suggested by chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Nepo game was super boring. Rajabov just forced to draw. Oh, it was Manmoth. Bonarici confirms.
I don't think I understand it fully. So now, what does Fabi gain by giving up the pawn?
His bishop can move.
Oh, his bishop.
Instead of it being bad
active.
bishop. It's just a normal good bishop. Okay. Now the bishop's better than the knight, like it usually is.
Right, okay.
But I had to ditch a pawn for it. But he figures I can draw this, you can't win. It's a good setup. I mean, he's got these pawns on dark squares. He can just protect this and attack with his bishop on this diagonal. The only way to make a pass pawn is to trade everything. But then you're not going to have a lot of pawns then. Like this.
Yeah.
Assuming that's even legal, I'm going to be on the white squares here. You're going to go all the way around here and do that? Maybe. Probably I'll go there. Attack this, right? Oh, he did it first, right? It's his turn. Yeah, he doesn't need to play bishop c4 check if he doesn't want to. Although the engine liked that more. But this should still be okay. Oh, let's see. Ding and the other guy, they're moving around. Richard. Sack the... He did play e5, as suggested by National Master Spencer Finegold. That's right, yeah, e5 is a good move. Right, these moves are all fine. White just doesn't have an advantage anymore. And now he's agreeing that he doesn't have an advantage. And they're going to draw, perhaps.
Repeat.
It seems like it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, why would you play on at this point?
Seems like they're about to draw.
Yeah, they're moving really quickly in the webcam, too. And they're just writing the moves and going through the motion. They shook hands. They drew official draw. So, yeah, Rapport does it again. He gets a bad position and wiggles around. Just like in round one. Round two is a little different. He's actually kind of better, against Firouzja. And even winning at that one point, but it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, in the Fabi game, I forgot now what my question was.
He sacked the pawn.
Right. Okay, so... I guess you can eat.
There's 2 games left. Fabi and Firouzja are both playing bishop against knight.
So the king can come in, though.
Where? What move do you want to play? Your guy's hanging.
Oh, yeah. So
you'll have to move it.
I forgot they attacked.
You can also try this move, huh? That should win. But okay, here's a draw offer I could just take, and I'm not going to lose 3 against 2 with the bishop here. I could lose it, I guess, but probably not.
Okay.
Also, here I could just check. So, I mean, that's going to be a dead draw, too. But yeah, if you move your knight, I can try to take your pawn. This is a good move, right? Move your king
Yeah,
up.
that is a good move. That is a good move.
Fabi probably just calculated that he won't be a pawn down. He's going to win his pawn back.
Right.
That's all. So he didn't even need to have good judgment. Just calculate.
Okay.
Fabi's good at calculating. Also has pretty good judgment. So, okay, let's see. He still will never move. Can't wait to see how much time he's going to spend on this move. Ding's going to be mad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alireza will be behind on the clock pretty soon, huh? Which is pretty funny, considering the opening. Nakamura thought 42.5 minutes on one of his moves.
So is it better to not take the pawn because it allows the knight to come in, or is it better just to go ahead and take it?
I mean, there's no general. You just have to calculate what's going on here. You have to say, okay, BC knight takes, king, I guess c2, threatens bishop f6. You have to go back to d5.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about that position for a bit, and then you're like, okay, what else can I do? I don't know. What else can white do? This, maybe? Sort of gives up this idea. You can also just, move your king and do it like that.
Right.
So you just have to sort of decide,
Mm-hmm.
which one you like the most. Yeah. The engine says everything's a draw.
Mm.
But Firouzja probably thinks he can still be better since his opening was so good and he's been playing well. He figures, and he had white.
Right.
Figures he could be better here, but Nakamura played well enough, He found the right defenses. But he put on a lot of pressure with white, did Firouzja. He still could win it, He still could win. Declan likes king c2. Okay. What about queen, and then check, and then b takes? Bishop f6 hangs the bishop, right? So, don't hang a bishop, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Naka streaming and playing at the same time. How does he do it? Yeah, he is streaming. That's true. Well, he's talented. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too bad Ding just threw it all away like that. That was a big opportunity he missed. And my constant razzing of Ding is justified, at least. But
Where is Finegold? He's taking
right here?
he's taking a nap.
What kind of question was that?
He was up a bit late watching poker. I went to bed like a good girl. Mainly because I was tired. Yeah, we got poker go, and so we can see some of the live events and recorded events.
Let's see, he's got 3 minutes to make this one move. 3.5 minutes. So we'll stay here, see if he moves. You think he'll move before Firouzja? Who's been thinking for half an hour? It's close. It's going to be close. Firouzja could move any second now,
Yeah, I think he'll move first because he has less time.
Yeah, that's true. Right. But he hasn't been thinking for half an hour like the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, naps are good. Yeah, but he does have options. Okay, he picked the most normal move. And you were right, he moved before Firouzja, I guess.
Yeah.
And now they both made time control, so they have over an hour on their clocks. King c4 is the best move, but bishop c4 is okay too. But yeah, king c4 like wins the pawn back by force, or knight e6. But then I'll just break it, you know. I'll just break it. Takes. Shouldn't be a problem. Here, there again. Doesn't really help though, does it? It doesn't really help. It was fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, king c4 I think he'll play. He doesn't even have to. The engine even likes king e3 here. Okay, well. Fine. If you say so. Firouzja's never going to move.
Yeah.
He'll never, maybe, he's like, Hikaru's a little older than me. Maybe he'll die of old age before I, have to move.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw.
Seems like both games are more likely going to be draw than,
he can't give up, like you're saying, on the fact that he was playing so great and that he's going to have to draw.
Right.
He just can't come to grips with it.
Yeah, he's like, there's got to be something I can do, at
I'm
least
young
try.
And right? Badass.
Yeah, I'm so cool.
2,800. Whatever he is.
Right, they can't agree to a draw, but they all can now, right? They can now. They both made move 40 in the games. But yeah, you got to wait till move 40 for the draw.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Ben. I might take a little breaky.
Yeah, a little break time?
Yeah, I need to walk around a little bit. I might get some green beans.
Okay.
Even though we're going to eat.
Green beans?
See, I'm just starving.
Oh, there he is.
Hey. I'm going to let Spencer have my seat. And I'm going to go grouse in the kitchen.
Where can I sit?
You're going to get your seat.
Yeah,
Now, musical chairs. I think the deer have been eating the chefalera.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How dear them?
that's not good.
It was in recovery, but now it's,
Wow, that was...
Yeah, he threw it all away. He didn't see queen g5, that line, He played king f1, genius move. But then after knight e2, he didn't play queen d8 winning. He didn't see queen d8, knight c1, queen g5.
I'm surprised Ding didn't see queen g5.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He quickly played. It was the only quick move of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw it away.
Didn't see that one. Yeah, we were looking at this before I took my nap.
Yep.
Yeah, queen g5 is a really cool move. Right, and there's h6 and here. Yeah, this is completely winning already. So the players missed that. Man, it likes white here a lot.
Right. Then he should play queen e2, but he did rook e1, which should still be winning, actually. But the problem is now he can play queen d4, where queen e2 didn't allow this.
Right.
And queen d4 is a good square for the queen. It protects everything, attacks everything. But here, this was the real... See, here's what he's got to do. He's got to play queen e4 to trade queens. Then when you move away to not trade queens, he could play like queen d2, like he did in the game. Then you could play queen e3, so then you could play h6.
Mm-hmm.
But he played hg, so then in the game he didn't have that option. He had this position without h-pawns.
Man, so he really messed it up.
Yeah, he threw it away here. And now he was never winning after this. Bishop d4 only move, by the way. Otherwise he's lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good move. Never a trade, and he didn't have any problem threatening mate there on the back rank. And then sack the exchange and draw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, Ding messed that up.
Yep,
Dang.
yep.
All because of my nap.
Right, once he went down for the nap, he's like, time to go down
Yeah.
in the evaluation.
Yeah, Ding. Yeah, played bad when I was taking my nap. This is all zeros, it says. Let's see, what did I miss?
Oh, viewer Andy, thank you for your subscription for 27 months.
This is the last position I saw.
Right, Fabi handled this nicely. Just broke with F4, which was right. C5 is a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Just sacking the pawn, and now he's got options. Even King E3 draws.
Wow.
Right? That's the engine move. It's King E3. It's like, what? Ding messed it up and drew.
Mm-hmm. And so this should be a draw. And let's see. What's the last position I saw was here. No, he took. This is the last position I saw.
Mm-hmm. No, you saw the rest of the stuff with Rook G8 and Rook F1
Oh, yeah, that's
check.
right. I saw this.
And then
Saw that.
He ended up trading and playing Bishop D8.
Mm-hmm.
Now Hikaru thought forever and played A4 only move.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to play all these only moves. Well, King F7 and King G8's okay, but King F7's better, you know. Now C3 only move, which Nakamura instantly played, even though it's move 41 and he had an hour.
Mm-hmm.
He still instantly played the only move. He should just Jadub his king to C1 and then play BC, crushing.
Mm-hmm.
Jadub.
It's hard to believe this is a draw.
That's what I was saying. King A2 draws, apparently. Even. Oh, you're trying to lose on purpose, you can't lose.
Oh, because Bishop G5.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Must be Bishop G5. Oh yeah, Hikaru's good at everything. You know?
Man, talk about barely drawing.
Right. This is more just pure calculation than anything else.
Yeah.
It's not like you had to have a lot of endgame knowledge to do this. I mean, maybe there's some themes.
Man, it's hard to believe this is a draw. I mean, it's easy because the engine says so, but man.
Well, what would you play, BC?
Yeah, it just looks like white should just win there because.
Yeah, BC, knight takes, king C2, knight D5.
No.
Then what, king D3 maybe? But no, knight F4 check.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the problem you can't approach. I mean, maybe you can go over to F3, but then I'll play B4.
Mm-hmm. Wow, amazing.
Yes, can't approach.
And then this
having a bad king is bad.
Mm-hmm. Man, this game, the Caruana game with Duda, the engine likes everything they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they played all green moves, yeah.
Oh, Jing really messed that up.
Yeah. That was a big miss. That's the favorite for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for the guy who just asked, we had Dingler in, and Richard Rapport was a draw, but Ding was winning before this. And Rajabov versus Jan Nepomniachtchi was a pretty quick draw. This was drawn over an hour ago.
From Rajabov.
A shameful draw.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. And then this position should be a draw, and this position should be a draw also.
No, Danko, because it's check when I move the knight. And you meant when black moves the knight.
Man, Nakamura has more time now, it says.
Yep. Yeah, Firouzja's been thinking forever on this move. Mm-hmm. He thought like 45 minutes or so. I mean, or at least half an hour.
That's like a nap's amount of time. Yeah.
All right, pretty much.
So you can play king h8 here. Wow. It's still amazing to me that black's drawing here. His positions look so bad. Man, no wonder Firouzja's thinking forever. He's furious.
Yeah. He played so well in the opening too. He figures he should have something. Rapport has drawn every game as expected, except for one thing.
They shouldn't have drawn any of those games.
Right, he could have lost
Karen.
easily the first and third one.
I made some crackers.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say that word on stream?
Oh, snap.
And then I had some green beans.
That's even worse.
Did you do the recaps yet?
No.
And actually, since we restarted, maybe we should adjust. I guess the white balance looks okay. It's a little bit more yellow because we didn't fix it. Okay.
Didn't fix what? We started again since I've been took it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. It was only for a second it blipped out.
Oh.
It was just OBS. Happened to freak out. Public freak out.
You can't hear a word I'm saying?
You are quiet.
I'm not saying much.
Man, I got that Father's Day nap. Man, that was a good nap. I wasn't even going to take a nap. I was just going to lay down for a second.
Just rest my eyes.
Fall asleep. No.
If bishop g3, then knight f6. I guess bc, knight takes, king c2, knight d5, bishop h4. Anyways, if bishop h4, I can always play... What can I always play? Not knight f4, bishop f6. So yeah, I mean, bishop h4 to g3 is an idea, yeah. That was suggested by the chat, or by the computer and chat, the chat with the computer, earlier in a slightly different position.
What was this? I'm sorry, I missed
Bishop h4, g3, and then bishop e5, that maneuver.
Yeah, I guess in this position, if we do that, we play e5, knight f4. I think we have to.
Yeah, e5,
Yeah.
if bishop g3, knight f4.
No, that's forced.
Then takes, you could play b4, right?
Yeah, taking probably loses.
Yeah, I think it loses,
yeah,
right?
This is
Yeah.
winning
Should
for
lose.
Black.
Because white can't do anything. Lost in Hollywood. Thank
Yay.
you. Yeah, e5, right. Forest fire. You were right there, though. Right, that's true, Squirtle. That is true. Yeah, Firouzja never moves. Wow. This might be the longest think of the round, really. He's been here forever.
Of the tournament.
And even Hikaru thought for 42.5 minutes. Still, he's thinking longer.
Should I do recap? Okay. Yeah, we'll do a Rajabov recap. Hey everyone, it's Grandmaster Ben Finegold here, the sleepy GM, with a recap of Rajabov Nepomniachtchi from earlier this round, round 3 of the candidates. Let's have a look. They played a topical line in the Catalan. Unfortunately for the spectators, white was not very ambitious. C5, and white could play queen a4 here if he's interested in a more fighting game, but instead he went into this ending where white is supposed to be a tiny bit better, although it didn't look like it. And this position, even I knew for both sides, and I know that white tries to get an advantage because his bishop is better than this bishop here on c8, even though white's pawn structure is a little worse. But that didn't happen because there were so many trades. And here white played knight fd4, bishop d7, and it's not easy for white to try to win here. One way to try is to play knight b5, but he traded everything here on c6, which brings us symmetrical pawn structure. And Rajabov played bishop e3. And after knight to d5, unfortunately, he played bishop d4, which forces more trades. The only way to try to win is bishop to d2, and then try to kick the knight away with c4. After bishop d2, knight b6, it's still around equal. Maybe white's a little bit better. Unfortunately, he played bishop d4, and after c5, there was just mass simplification, which seemed like it was met with open arms by both players. Takes, rook c8. And here Rajabov thought for quite a long time and decided to just draw the game by taking the knight instead of rook e1, which the engine says is also completely equal. So it was sort of a non-game because nothing much happened. He took the 7th rank, but now the a2 pawn is hanging. Threatened the e6 pawn, and they just repeated. And draw by reputation. They both have big reputations. So, not an exciting game, probably the most boring game of the tournament so far. Nepomniachtchi totally neutralizing White's Catalan, and Rajabov not playing in the most incisive way. Pretty, I think, happy with a draw with White, which is not saying very much for Rajabov. Obviously, when you have the black pieces, drawing easily is pretty nice in this tournament because you get half white and half black, so drawing with black easily is pretty nice. So the least exciting game of the round, but pretty accurate. And we have a draw in Rajabov Nepomniachtchi, Grandmaster Ben Finegold. I hope you enjoyed round 3 of the candidates. Watch more recaps here on YouTube and watch live at twitch.tv/GM Benjamin Finegold. Bye.
Hey, can you put the OBS in the front?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boring. All right, let's see what he did. Played king c4. It says everything's equal. But I'm guessing he'll play knight e6.
Knight e6, I guess f5.
Yeah, f5 takes king b4. It says all zeros. That seems pretty drawn. And he still hasn't moved after my recap. No.
Yeah, he'll never move.
Then he'll lose on time. Nakamura wins.
Oh, P-Mork.
Hooray.
Thank you for the sub.
The recaps are the best. Ding recap is also up and coming. Mm-hmm. I could do it now or we could wait. What do you say, Karen?
Oh, whatever you think. I could sit here for a second and see if they move.
No, nobody ever moves.
You know what I mean?
Especially Firouzja.
Right. Firouzja's been not moving the whole round now.
Gotta move now.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hey,
like,
96
as you
was
said,
played.
yeah, as you said, 96.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, f5 almost for sure. Why would you give up the pawn without doubling?
On the bubble up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's the idea. They're just doubling the pawns.
Yeah, it's gonna lose it
F5
anyway. So.
Takes and then takes on b4. Draw.
Might as well double them up.
Yeah. True.
And the engine says bishop g2 is the second best move. Knight takes bishop h1. What kind of engine is this?
It stops knight d5, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you could still take the pawn.
This is better than just taking? Wow. Shocking.
Yeah, then you got knight d5, you know.
Yeah, but still shocking.
I wouldn't do any of that. Bishop g2 to h1.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, Deathbone UK?
That's right. We'll do the Naka Firouzja recap. Firouzja hasn't moved yet.
Right.
He can't believe he's not winning.
And he can't believe it's not Butterbean.
Hikaru's like, am I still playing this game? Man, Firouzja was an hour and 15 minutes ahead on the clock. Now he's 15 minutes behind. Not that the clock matters this game, but still. This could be one of the longest things in modern chess history.
I can't believe he's not better. That's true, Dester.
Yeah, if there's a win here, he doesn't want to miss it. He doesn't have the engine like we do.
Right. He can't find a win because it doesn't exist, but he has to keep looking because it might be there.
Even if he loses on time, he still has to do it.
There are 3 time controls, Rogue Bagel.
Yeah, Firouzja's never been so old. 19 already. Man.
Yeah, that's true. Hikaru thinks his screen froze. Yeah.
Yeah, Hikaru desperately wants to draw arrows on the board.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do a ding recap since this game never ends. Hey everybody, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here with another recap from round 3. This is the game Dingler in versus Richard Rapport. It was a Grunfeld, first Grunfeld of the tournament. Maybe not the last, although maybe. And they played the old main line, and they quickly reached this position, which we've seen hundreds of times in Grandmaster play. And this position, Black can play Bishop D7, Bishop G4, Queen C7, or B6. All those moves have been played before. And he played B6. Dingler played Rook C1. And the players got to like an equalish kind of position here. Takes, Queen here, Rook D1. And this position, the engine wants to play Knight A5 with unleashing an attack on the E pawn on E4. Instead, he played Queen B4, which is also okay. Queen D3, E6, and now Ding put it in H4. And in this position, the engine thinks White is slightly better. White has this nice center, and it wants Black to play some move like H5. But instead, he played Rook D8, which the engine really hates. And Rook D8 was a long think, and I think he had in mind after Bishop G5 attacking the Rook. The Rook doesn't really have a great square to go to. He sacrificed the exchange, always sacrificed the exchange. That was his idea when he played Rook D8. He didn't think very long about Knight takes D4. And, well, fortunately for Rapport, the engine doesn't like this exchange sacrifice. H5, Bishop E5. In this position, White played A4, which the engine really likes and says that White's doing great. Now Black blundered according to the all-knowing engine with King G7. King F1 was played, which is an excellent move. The idea is Knight takes Knight isn't check, so the Knight is seriously pinned after King F1. And after Knight E2, Ding missed a forced win, which I don't blame him too much, but after King F1, I think he should find it. He didn't take the Rook here, and the forced win is the difficult to see Queen G5, threatening the bishop on E5 with check, and also threatening H6 check with a back rank check over here. The king is trapped. And this is just simply winning for White. There's no defense here. The engine's giving White +6. H6 check and Rook D8 is too strong. Queen takes E5 check is too strong. And we're going to lose the knight anyway on C1. And I guess both players missed Queen G5 because it's sort of obvious to just take back the knight on C1. But then Black is fine after something like Queen takes E4. So a big miss for White. Instead, Ding took on E2. White's still doing quite well. Takes, A6, Bishop A6, Bishop A6. And in this position, he made another mistake. He played Rook E1. Should play Queen E2. And the engine thinks that White has excellent winning chances here. Instead, after rook e1, queen d4, black's pretty well coordinated defending this pawn. He's dominating the center. His king's pretty safe. And white's up in exchange for a pawn, but how's white supposed to get a pass pawn or try to win? Queen e2, bishop f6. Notice the queen is really nicely placed on d4, whereas if he had played queen e2, there is no queen d4. d4 is protected, so the queen has to go to a worse square. And then white's doing well with queen e3, threatening the pawn, and h6 check. So a big miss for Ding, and now the game just petered out to a draw. H takes g is the last mistake of the game. Still winning chances for white by just not taking on g6. But trading here leaves white with just no winning chances. There's no way for white to ever get a pass pawn or attack the black king, and black's queen is just too strong on d4. Queen d2 exclam, check, bishop d4 threatening mate, the best move by far, and there's just nothing for white to do here. Black is threatening checkmate, e5, and the bishop is just too strong here. So the game could end many ways, in some kind of perpetual check with queen h1, but instead he just took this. And they got to this jet drawn position and repeated. Always repeat. And this is move 40, so the players were allowed to agree to a draw without repeating, but obviously, this is a draw. So that's the game. Dingler and Richard Rapport. Ding was winning. And Richard Rapport's had 3 positions that could have been decisive one way or the other, and somehow still has 3 draws. And Ding, pretty upset, I'm sure, that he didn't win this game. He played really brilliantly, got a nice winning position, and then couldn't win. This is Grandmaster Ben Finegold with another recap from round 3. I hope you enjoyed the recaps here on YouTube, and you can watch live at twitch.tv/GM Benjamin Finegold. Bye, everyone. Good. We have another draw. Yep, there's nothing left there.
Yep.
So he played
like
f5, bishop e2.
Yeah, h5 is pretty weak. Never play f3. Oh, a3 so that he could check
That's
and take.
right. Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty funny
Pretty
stuff.
good game. The table base says draw.
Do you think he played king takes a3 or not?
No, because he doesn't say he did.
Right, but the DGT can just end it here, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
he
maybe
probably
it
just
wouldn't.
took it. That was it.
Yeah.
The players know you can't legally win.
Right.
So that was a pretty high-level game. Nobody ever had a big advantage that game. Pretty equal throughout. If you put that game with a cap score, it's going to be 99 for both sides.
Yeah.
The engine liked all the moves. So we have 3 draws, and Firouzja finally did move. He took, check, knight back to d5, and now he's thinking again.
We knew. Now I want to see the time, right?
Yeah.
There we go, yeah.
Let's see. 62 minutes and 22 seconds.
Over an hour on that one.
Thanks, Sven Finegold.
300 bits.
Think short, maximal hort.
Yeah, because he thought for over an hour is why.
Yeah, in this position, White
time.
thought for over an hour on his move, like you guys always do.
Right.
And he took.
That's longer than one chess lesson. He thought on one move.
That's like 10 recaps.
Yeah.
And now he's thinking again, even though he knew this would happen.
That's a good point you made.
Yeah, I'd have trouble believing I wasn't winning either if I was White.
Yeah.
It's the biggest time advantage turnaround in history of chess. He's up 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now he's behind 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yay, shallow chartreuse.
300 bits.
Always
Welcome back.
donate. Yeah, I agree
Always
with that.
donate is correct, yes.
Mm-hmm. The more you donate, the more money we have. So we have 3 draws in the books, plus this game should be a draw, and probably will be.
200 more bits.
Yay, a hype train is close.
It didn't count towards it, though, because he already did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Even the people who aren't fathers? Mm-hmm. All right.
If the minor pieces are traded, black wins this position.
Here, let me have my thing. Yeah, because we got passed pawns on both sides.
So, yeah, white should not be trading.
Don't say you never got anything from me for Father's Day. Let's see. Mom wants to call me.
Declan with a gifted sub. Thank you, Declan. It's only Father's Day in North America. Boo. Yeah. Could be true.
I'm aware of that, but
Or maybe he just wishes it was Father's Day where he is. Oh, and also apparently in the UK. So.
Hey, I got Happy Father's Day from Iram with confetti.
Argentina? Oh,
Yay.
That's nice.
I thought so. You get one.
See, look at the confetti. That's the best part.
What about Krista, though? That's
shocking.
Will she get it going there? Yeah, come on. It's Father's Day all over the place, apparently. That is true, trying to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like 4 draws, huh? Yeah.
What else?
4 draws. What else?
Where did you want to go eat, Ben?
When or where? What was your question?
Yeah. She said where, yeah.
I don't know, Subway.
Eat fresh.
Hey, what about that Persian restaurant in Sandy Springs?
In Sandy Springs.
Or the one where I went, the similar to.
Yeah, wherever you want to go is good.
In Johns Creek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wherever you want to go, we'll go.
What's Father's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's up to the father.
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
Let's go to the
except for-
Persian place in Vegas.
Yeah, that was pretty good. They had the
Okay,
best-
let's do a recap of
Fabi
and Duda. La da 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 dee da da Duda Duda. Hey, good old Marler. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here. During a hype train, we're going to do a recap. That'll kill the train, but still, something. We're looking at the game from round 3 between Fabiano Caruana and Jan Krzysztof Duda. They played a Najdorf Sicilian. Fabiano has white. In this position, after a6, white has many moves that are theory, probably every move. He played f3, the old English line, e5. You could also play e6. e5 is more popular now. Black played a very early h5, stopping all the g4 lines. In this position, the most common move is to play knight d5, but they sort of transposed. He castled first, making Duda think a little bit. Always play king b1, and then he played knight d5, and they got to this theoretical position. The pawn is hanging on d5, so he traded. Wants to put his knight on c6. That's why he waited till b5 was played before he played knight d5. Knight a5 to c6. So he did play knight a5. And after rook c8, even though this position has occurred many times, Fabi thought quite a long time in this position before playing knight c6, which has been played several times before, allowing this knight takes d5 trick. Obviously, if you take the knight, then queen takes knight on c6. So this endgame is relatively forced. And we've seen this endgame before, mainly with drawn results. The position's about equal. Most of the grandmasters assembled like white a little bit more, who were doing commentary on the game because they like the bishop better than the knight. Rook d2, and the game was pretty equal throughout. I think this is probably like the first new position of the game. Was he played knight a5. This position after g6 has been reached before. Fabi played c3 relatively quickly. But there's not much to say here. The position's pretty equal, and Fabi was avoiding trades until I think he didn't like his position and decided to force a draw. So after rook e2, king f6, h4, knight b7 to play knight c5, attacking the bishop. The knight has e6. The knight's pretty good. Black's position's really solid. Now he went back to d2 and always play bishop f1. King e6. And in this position, it seemed like Fabi didn't think he had any advantage, and he sort of tried to force equality, playing c4, king c2. And then this really struck me, the move b3, showing that he really isn't playing for an advantage. Position's just sort of blocked, material's equal. Thanks, Niels Drawer, for the sub. Knight b7, g3, they traded rooks, and the position's just too equal. There's no way that either player could win. I guess black has a symbolic advantage with this nice knight on c5. And c5 was an excellent pawn sack, so he can get his bishop to a nice square. Takes. Problem with playing knight takes c5 is after bishop c4 check, it's impossible to defend both pawns. If you play king f6, I can take and then take on f7. So he takes here first. He can take the pawn on c5, but now white's king comes in. There's very few pawns on the board, and it's hard for black to win with his extra pawn. Knight e6, he plays f5, and the pawns just are getting traded. And there's just nothing left on the board. And the player's forced to draw with king and knight versus king. And here the game ends because neither player can legally win. A really high-level game where there was basically no mistakes from either player, and nobody really had serious winning chances that game. I'm sure Fabi will be upset not to get winning chances with white, but a very well-played game by both sides going into the rest day. And Fabi continues to be tied for first with his +1 score. This is Grandmaster Ben Finegold here with recaps. This is round 3, the game Caruana Duda. Thanks for watching our recaps on YouTube, and don't forget to watch us live at Twitch at twitch.tv/GM Benjamin Finegold. Bye, everyone.
All right, good.
Good. And still no moves.
Very nice.
No moves since the recap started.
And the hype train survived. That's
Go
true.
hype train. Yeah, somebody gave with seconds left. Whoever that was, thanks. +4 always wins the tournament, and sometimes +3 ties for first. Bishop g5 was played. He waited for my recap time before moving.
Yeah, I would consider living in Las Vegas, but not anytime soon, Declan. Because I have children.
Karen says too cold. Oh, wait a minute.
Well,
It says e5 draws, otherwise
dad.
resign. After bishop g5.
that family.
And he played e5 quickly.
So, yeah, knight f4 is still the idea.
My best friend lives in Las Vegas, though. It's a big draw.
So bishop h6, king h8. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Threatening knight e7.
Oh. That's true.
Yeah, in fact, no matter what white does, black does king here, and just keeps doing that. Because the knight has to stay defending f6. If the knight moves, bishop here, check. If the pawn goes to e4, then bishop c1 wins, I think, followed by bishop b2 check. So this pawn has to stay here, this knight has to stay here, so the king has to go to h8 and g7. And if the bishop ever moves away from here, we can play knight e7.
Yeah, and the king can't approach either.
So basically, black does this and white does this, and they draw.
Yeah, they're going to draw. Unless he can do some bishop thing. Like, what if he gets this bishop to, b8 or something?
Here?
Yeah. If only it was possible.
Can't go here, can't go here.
Well, I can go h4, f7, a7.
Once you play bishop a7, I play knight e7.
Right. Yeah, you play knight e7 all the time. Yeah, that's right. You said that too.
Actually, after bishop f2, I can do that.
Yeah.
Or here.
Right. So yeah, it's impossible to win then. You can't move your bishop away from e7, and you can't move your king away because of b4.
Yep, and he played king d2. So king h8's the only move that draws, otherwise resigns. And Naka had it all figured out. He played king h8 without thinking.
Yeah, Hikaru's had to try to draw this for the whole game. He's never been even close to better.
Yeah.
Caruana got 97.4 accuracy due to 97.6.
Sounds about right.
On the chess.com thingy.
I think the official name is the cap score.
I thought thingy was the official.
Knight f4 is, like instead of moving back and forth, knight f4. Then bishop f6 would win.
Right.
You have to wait for the bishop to not play
Yeah,
f6.
bishop f6 is winning whether the king is on g7 or h8. So the kings just move around and nothing happens.
How's it going, the Eradicator?
And if somehow we're allowed to play knight e7 or knight f4, we can win all these pawns. Probably still a draw. Yay, great work.
Yeah, get those emotes. Turtle and dolphin and cat. You earned it.
Somebody said, why not king to d3? King to d3 is possible.
It doesn't
Now,
do
knight
it.
f4 check, the only move.
Oh, I thought I could just ignore you because if you play king e4, I'll play b4.
Well, I'll take.
And you can play bishop c1 again. Yeah.
No, maybe.
Or even bishop
Yeah,
f6. Yeah. That's mate, right?
Yeah, this position is
that's
winning
mate.
for black.
Because b4.
Yep, and black wins.
Always pawn break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did all the other recaps, that's right. So, this is the last game, and it will be the last recap when it's done.
Yeah, so we just play king here, king here, king here. If the king ever goes to d3. The only way to try to win, I think, I mean, probably loses, is to do this. So let's look at that. Actually, you have to play knight f4 check here. King g7 loses to king f3. Yeah, that's the problem, is you can never do that because of there. So what if we try to go here,
then
here.
b4 after king e1, I guess.
b4 is the only move, otherwise you lose.
Because now you're outside the square even. Yeah, just push it. Push it real good. I always forget about this. I thought I was winning again. Ooh, fork town,
you
right?
can't take this.
Fork town.
Right.
And also a2, bishop b2, knight d3.
Actually, after this, it says knight here check. The knight here and takes and takes.
Yeah, that's easier. That's way easier, yeah.
After king e1, b4 is the only drawing move. Otherwise, white's winning. This is a winning idea.
Up and around the
I'm surprised this loses.
And then king f2 is still b4, right? Like, what's
the
the
only
difference?
winning move is king f1. King f2 doesn't win.
King f1?
Yeah, now b4.
Okay, so anyways, why does king f1 b4 not work? I agree this is okay for black. Why is this not okay? Okay, now you're not getting forked, I guess. There's no knight c3 check. Wait, that was a different thing. There's no knight takes, and if the king's on f2,
you get the knight check and knight here.
Knight check and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and this is winning. It
There's no
announces
knight
mate.
check, yeah. Because then you can play like bishop f8.
Yeah, if you go here, you go check.
Yeah, always play
and
that.
Then here,
Ooh.
and then wins.
Very nice stuff. Very nice stuff. Yeah, there's no hope there.
Well, we've had some naps, legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Always
see
nap.
if anything ever happened. No, he still hasn't moved. He went from an hour and 15 minutes down on the clock to 40 minutes ahead on the clock. Who would have thunk it?
You know, there's a cereal. It's Captain Crunch. Oops, all berries. It's like because there's Captain Crunch like where it's normal.
Yeah.
And there's some with berries
Yeah.
and normal, but then
Yeah.
there's Oops all berries. And there's also a beer that's Oops all hops. How crazy is that? I wonder which one was first. I don't even know the beer. I don't even know the beer one, but I know that it
beer me.
exists. Yeah. Beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right, just hops. It's like a very dry.
So yeah, king here and king here allows knight here check, and king here allows b4. Otherwise, we just move our king back and forth. You can't believe he's not winning because this looks so winning.
Well, it wasn't really wasted on a draw, you know. It was opportunity cost.
In 78, I was either 8 or 9 years old, depending on when it was. Before my birthday, I was 8. After, I was 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's thinking that obviously, you know, he can only lose if he goes into a losing king and pawn endgame or blunder some fork or something ridiculous. He can't lose like normally, but he can try to find some study-like idea, like how we found with king f1 there, with the engine.
Magnus would win with white because he doesn't believe in fortresses.
Right. So if he can find some idea like that, then he can win, yeah. But he only has 20 minutes now. Naka's got an hour.
It's the shortest round of the tournaments. We've only gone, what, 4 hours and 45 minutes?
Well, b4 is very easy to find because it's the only thing to do, but
Yeah, you
to
want
calculate it is difficult, you know, to figure all that out. Yeah, maybe Naka will flag him. Dirty flag.
It's likely, except for one thing.
Right.
The other games did finish, except nobody was finished.
Hey, the only person who wants to get flagged is Nepo, so he has one. Hi-yo. Got him. The next time control is at move 60, I believe. So 15 moves for these guys. They're on move 45 currently.
Man, depth 76. That's when you know there's not too many pieces on the board.
Yeah.
At depth 76, Stockfish 15 says draw. Every move is a draw, even the moves that lose.
Yeah, and there's also an increment, right, after move 60. And in addition to the additional time, you know.
They got video of Firouzja thinking about things. Why aren't I winning? He's never been so old.
Right.
Already 19.
Now that he's that old, he should be able to play endgames well.
That's right. So, important note, tomorrow is a rest day. So if you come tomorrow looking for the games, there won't be any. They play 3 games, then they have a rest day, and then et cetera.
Continues that pattern, yeah. Well, anyways, Declan, I could always just play king g7 with black in that variation, and you don't have to calculate anything, you know. Tomorrow is nap day, right?
King e1 was played.
Best try. Now king f1.
Yeah.
Willie, do you understand
b4 is the only drawing move.
Right, right. Hikaru has to know that it matters. That's all.
Otherwise, king g7, king f1 wins.
King f1. But if Hikaru is alert here, he'll understand stuff like that. And he's not about to try to lose this when he thought so long and figured out the best defense. So I think he'll play b4, yeah.
King e1's good. He sets up for the next game.
Right, right.
Hikaru wants to move already. Yeah, and he played b4.
Actually, yeah. Instant b4.
He had it all figured out. Now the engine wants to move the king back. And then b3, draw agreed. Then we just move back and forth. You think he'll move his king here, or you think he'll take?
Just take. There's not really any risk there.
Time for a long think.
If you calculate it. The only risk is your calculation's wrong. Don't think you're 2793 because you think you're calculating wrong. Go Firouzja.
Man, it looks like Firouzja borrowed Anand's hair. Got thick, dark hair.
Right.
I guess that's what happens when you're 19.
Hey, 19.
We can't draw together. We can't draw at all. You're telling my boss Monday's a rest day. All right.
That's smart.
Yeah, he did take on B4.
Mm-hmm.
A3 is the only drawing move, and he played it instantly.
Could Ali Reza think too hard and lose on time?
No.
Guess anything's possible. I think, it will be knight b4, bishop a3, knight d3.
Yep. Well, he might play knight c2.
I think he'll see knight d3 is easier, though.
He could play king d1, also drawing.
Yeah, king d1.
Then knight d5, bishop a3, knight f4, draw. So this game's going to end in the next 4 moves.
I mean, king d1, I'll just play knight d3.
Mm-hmm.
And then knight f4. There's no problem there.
But knight d5, you have knight f4 and knight e7. Oh, snap.
I guess. I feel like knight d3 is more normal, but all right. Ding choked it away.
Yeah.
Ali Reza was an hour up, then he thought for an hour.
Man, Rapport was in a lot of trouble. Then he was completely winning the next game, then he's losing the next game. He has 3 draws.
Right.
I'm still not sure who's better, him or Duda.
Yeah, black cannot try to win at all. Never try to win.
Nobody's trying to win. They're just going to play out so you can't legally win.
Yeah. Man, how is Naka so good at endgames? It calculates pretty well. That'll do it. Hikaru uploaded his recap already. Wow.
He played king d2. a2 loses now, so he has to play knight d5, the only drawing move.
Oh, king d2. I get it. Yeah.
The only move, knight d5.
Wow.
That draws pretty handily.
Yeah.
Because he can't stop knight
And
e7
clearly.
and knight f4.
Yeah, and clearly, right.
Yeah.
Still, he gave him only one move, somehow.
Mm-hmm. Will Hikaru come to the board and start nodding, and then put his hand over his knight, then nod some more, and put his hand back and forth, then play knight d5?
Expect Ali Reza to be more aggressive. How could anybody play more aggressively than Ali Reza's played these first 3 games?
I want to see him nod his head and then put his hand over his knight, and then... Oh, no, he's not even doing that. He's played knight d5 without thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he'll take on e5 so the game can end.
And then king takes h7? What do you think?
Does the game end?
King h7, right?
I don't know if the game ends. I don't know if the game ends after king h7. Because they both could checkmate each other.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's why, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, he didn't want to just play randomly.
All right, time for recap.
But king h7 was funnier.
I look right here.
Oh, yeah.
After we were just
right.
Just talking about this.
I was talking about...
this poker player.
Yeah.
Vanessa Selfst.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking... And I didn't quite know who she was.
Mm-hmm. So we have 4 draws. What else? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey everybody, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here with the recaps today from round 3. This was the last game to finish, Ali Reza Firouzja versus Hikaru Nakamura. This was a lot of preparation from Firouzja. They played a Nimzo Indian. They played a very topical line in the Queen C2 Nimzo, which Hikaru has black in quite often, takes and b6. This is one of Hikaru's favorite lines for black. Ali Reza knew it was coming, bishop a6. Here, queen d7 is the most common move. Hikaru played h6 and queen e7. And in this position, Firouzja played a move which may be new, queen c2, with the idea of playing e4, protecting the e4 square, and then e5. Hikaru played c5, which is the best move. And here Firouzja was just blitzing out the moves. e4, bishop takes f1, g5, otherwise e5 is too strong. Knight takes g5, bishop takes g5, and no thinking at all from Firouzja. After knight c6, which was played relatively quickly by Nakamura, queen c1 was played almost instantaneously. And now Naka thought for like 45 minutes and played rook takes d4, rook takes d4, knight takes d4, queen f4. This rook takes d4, queen f4 was played by Firouzja instantly. He's still in his preparation. And here had black had three moves to consider. Knight c2 check, queen d7, and king g7. Nakamura thought a while and ended up playing knight c2 check, one of the top moves. And again, Firouzja was still playing quickly. Still Firouzja's prep, if you can believe that. Queen check, queen takes check. And they get to this drawn ending where perhaps white is slightly better because he has a bishop versus a knight. And after bishop f4, Naka played the KG knight f6, cementing his knight on d5. Firouzja got his majority going a little bit quicker than Naka did, pushing the pawns on the king side. f3 to play g4. Bishop g5 to play g4 ostensibly. c4. Both sides got their majorities going on both sides of the board. Rook d1, threatening g takes f5. The e-pawn is overworked. So Naka traded on g4, giving white two connected pass pawns. But there's very little material on the board. If we get to rook and knight versus rook, or rook and bishop versus rook, that's just a draw. So white has to make sure he doesn't lose his pawns. And here we thought Nakamura made a little mistake with rook g8 and king e8, allowing h6. And now you can't take the bishop because of h7 and the pawn queens. So he played rook f8. Firouzja thought a long time here. He could play rook h1, but he ended up trading rooks and playing bishop d8. And this is where you said Naka thought quite a long time before playing a4.
Yeah, he thought 10 minutes. He had maybe 15 or less.
Right.
So he thought almost all of his time.
Right. And he calculated almost to the end of the game. g5, king f7, h7. And this looks just treacherous for black because he's in just total zugzwang. He can't move his knight because of bishop f6 check. So c3, the only drawing move. And in this position, Firouzja thought over an hour. So this was the craziest time swing I've ever seen in a tournament game. After all the opening prep, Firouzja was up 1 hour and 15 minutes. And then at this point, Firouzja was down 15, 20 minutes in the game. A huge swing. But this position is a draw. Black is barely holding the draw by the skin of his teeth. Bishop g5, e5, the only drawing move. We can't move our knight away from f6 because of bishop f6 check. And now black's idea is just to play king h8, king g7, and just chill. And that's what he did. King e1, the idea is to move the king over here and try to win. The problem with playing king e2 is knight f4 check draws the game. We're going to take the pawn, and this position is actually winning for black. After king f3, b4, black gets to make a queen, and white doesn't. King d3 has the same problem. After king d3, we play knight f4 check. And again, knight takes pawn, king takes pawn is going to be a draw. So he played king e1, trying to win this way. And b4 is the only drawing move. Nakamura played quickly. a3, knight takes b4, the only drawing move. Black wants to play knight check, knight f4, and take this pawn. So king d2 was played. You can see after bishop takes, knight check, knight f4, knight takes g6, king takes h7 is going to be a draw. So he played king d2, knight d5, threatening knight e7, and knight f4, both winning both pawns. Bishop takes a3, stopping knight e7, but not stopping knight f4, and everything comes off. A really nice defensive effort from Nakamura from a pretty bad position with white having two connected pass pawns, but white was never winning. So the cap score of that game is going to be pretty good as well. Sort of an exciting day, even though it was 4 draws. Good winning chances for Firouzja, but great defense by Nakamura. Nakamura's first draw of the tournament. And Ding having a winning position, but not being able to win. and some correct draws in the other games. So pretty good day. 4 draws. Same standings as after round 2. Tomorrow's a rest day. You guys can rest on Monday. If you tune into all the chess channels like mine, there won't be any chess. They don't play on Monday. Round 4 is on Tuesday. This is Grandmaster Ben Finegold. I hope you like the recaps here on YouTube. And I'll see you guys live on Tuesday at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GM Benjamin Finegold. Bye, everyone.
See you.
Pad, see you. Etc. Thanks everybody for watching and so forth. Let's see, who should I raid?
I forgot we were ending the recap and not the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll do both.
We could do Chess Bra or Hikaru.
We'll probably.
Let's read Hikaru because we never read him.
Well, I mean, his substitutes on there. He's not even, probably not on there.
Yeah, that's okay. Substitutes are good.
Yeah. It'll be our Father's Day gift to him.
Yeah. What? Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. No round tomorrow.
Bye.
See you guys on Tuesday. Bye.